Batman setup, and James Gunn did say something really interesting. I think it was with from Jake's Takes. I think he said, who knows? He might have actually already met Batman. He might have already been aware. And I'm like, that makes a lot more sense that he'd be aware of who Batman is, especially considering how close Gotham is.
And 3 years is a long time to not pop over.
Yeah, and Batman's a pretty popular figure. And yeah, exactly. If there's a highway that takes you to Gotham, I'm pretty sure Superman has probably maybe encountered him before. And maybe that might be the way of explaining that. I mean, it doesn't explain Aquaman and Flash and all that. But you don't see Batman's face and Superman's face in when the Justice League show up in Peacemaker. So that could be the answer to that, I guess.
It's going to be.
But then that would mean that there's a Justice League already established.
Which it doesn't seem like is the case, because the Hall of Justice is new, and it's the Justice Gangs.
Yeah.
And I love that it looks just like the Super Friends. Like, it's just like the comics Hall of Justice.
How do you think it's setting up our new Justice League?
I think that Superman standing up against the Justice Gang, even though they're his friends, not just standing up against, but standing for not listening to them, is allowing those heroes. Like, Mr. Terrific wasn't in the Peacemaker trailer. Like, Hawkgirl and Nathan Fillion were. But I think Mr. Terrific maybe goes his own way, and like he starts to inspire heroes to be heroes just to be heroes.
Yeah. I mean, when you talked about the Mr. Terrific being possibly the next thing, that secret sequel he's
before
working
you saw
on,
the movie.
Yeah, and then and I was like, yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Peacemaker thing.
Yeah.
And then during the interview,
he literally said
it kind of reminds me of Peacemaker. Like it 100% sounds like you're doing your Mr. Terrific movie.
I really like if I shot my shot and I called it 2 years early, I'm gonna be so happy.
I mean, he gave Mr. Terrific an entire like Yondu scene on crack.
Yeah, and Eddie is incredible.
Yeah,
like Eddie Gathegi is a movie star, and like that dude should be a household name. If it's this way, I'm so happy.
I mean, the fact that he could be a stoic ass dude but be charismatic.
How is he so
really
charming while being like the most cool, small?
And I love how he captured the irony. It's called Mr. Terrific, but he has like no smile about it.
So fucking chill. It was Anya's favorite character. She came out and she was like, "That's how I feel when I'm excited. That's what you get from me." And I was like, relatability.
Yeah.
So I think we get something terrific. I think with him, he was inspired. He said he wasn't going to do it, and then he went off and did it. I think more heroes are going to kind of form. Superman's inspirational to not just us, but to in-universe heroes.
Yeah.
I think the Justice League starts to form because we need it, and because people see that Superman's doing the right thing globally.
Well, there's been no talk about Hawkgirl's counterpart.
Like Hawkman?
Yeah.
I haven't heard any talk.
I know. Why not?
I think we just had a Hawkman. I think they're probably going to give that.
You think it's a producer thing?
I think it's like a Hawkgirl could have a solo thing with Hawkman, and I'd love that, because there is some canon where she's just an alien. There's some where she's been reincarnated over and over again, and sometimes not in line with her.
That's the version I'm more familiar with. Yeah,
where like it's not always in line with her lover, but when they meet, it's like I'd love that story. Yeah. But I don't think you need Hawkman until you tell that story, because we already have a Hawkgirl.
Do you feel like you could get a Hawkgirl? Do you feel like with Guy Gardner, even though they're doing the Lantern show? Do you think Guy Gardner in some way is setting up for the Lantern show? Because they mentioned like Lantern Corps and all that. It's a part of the world
building.
I
think those little Easter eggs are enough to when we have the Lantern show, it won't feel as alien. Like we've seen the technology, we've seen the power ring, we've seen it does pave the way. I think the show's that's a great example of the spinner rack. I think that show is a very different tone, and Guy Gardner is going to be like the weirdo they deal with. And this universe is so bright and so vibrant. I feel like the Daily Planet doesn't get enough credit for allowing that. Like, all of the Daily Planet actors are doing an 11 throughout the film, and it doesn't feel weird because the world's so vibrant. Yeah. And I think that is going to allow the Lantern show to kind of go more grounded, that leads to Cosmic and Weird, by having Guy Gardner be like the odd man out. Yeah. Like, I think that's going to work great.
Do you feel like there's any other cameos in that meta-human pocket dimension? I don't recall.
We've only seen it once. I tried. I was like, I was so in the movie that I was like, I'm sure this is relevant.
So many glass boxes.
I'm sure someone paused this now that they've seen it, and like, but like watching it the first time, I wasn't Eric Vossing.
Well, I don't remember. We saw it in the credits. But Michael Rosenbaum plays a character.
I think he's one of the robots. I think he's one of the voices.
That is such a great Easter egg.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
they're buddies.
Yeah.
But of course,
it's
like
also
the
Lex Luthor. He's my Lex Luthor.
For many people, he's the definitive Lex. For many people,
I think that hot take. I think that Nicholas Hoult is as good, but since I only got 2 hours of him, Rosenbaum is still my Lex Luthor. But I could see Nicholas Hoult with 4 or 5 movies under his belt. Like, it's just right now I've got 10 years of Rosenbaum. Yeah. So but Nicholas Hoult crushed in one movie. Like, he was so good in this.
Oh, and then of course we got Rick Flag.
Yes.
Rick Flag's in this movie.
And in Peacemaker.
And he's going to be in Peacemaker season 2, going after Peacemaker after
Because he killed his kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Big reason.
And especially after being in Creature Commandos too, where I love we love Creature Commandos so much.
We should talk about that. Like Creature Commandos set up a lot in that premonition scene, but it was in a thing that never ended up happening. So I love that we saw our first Batman, but it's in that didn't happen yet because they stopped the events of it. But what we did get was a Rick Flag that was on the side of the metahumans. Like he was working with them, but under Waller's thumb. Now in this, Waller had a ramification. So here he's on this weird spot where he's like, metahumans aren't so bad, but I gotta arrest Superman. Like that's the situation. I'm really curious to see Rick Flag kind of have the opposite of Nick Fury, where he's a through line, but it seems to be against our heroes, right? Like by the end of this, he was sitting there like seemingly on Lex's side.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious, like, is his arc gonna be landing where he's not pro?
Oh yeah, that's a really good point.
Didn't he seem to be like pro Lex by the end?
I don't know if he was like fully pro Lex. I didn't get the vibe of that, but I don't know. I kind of I think I read some things very differently than other people.
Well, that's the beauty of art, right? Like that's the interpretation of it. I felt like he was I felt like he was more reluctant in the beginning than the end.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like, because you have the Peacemaker cameo, you have the Rick Flag cameo, little role there, and yet it doesn't feel like it's setting up Peacemaker season 2, but all this is going to factor into Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah, I don't feel like this was one of those things where it's like a tease for Peacemaker season 2, or like, oh, got to find out what happens next, but I know something in Peacemaker season 2 will reference this, and I'll be like, of course.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in hindsight, it'll be like obvious.
I mean, and if Peacemaker is also shit-talking Superman, yet he seems like he's trying to get into the Justice Gang in the Peacemaker show.
Yeah.
It is still setting up. It is playing more into the characterization of Peacemaker still.
And that's really good world building, because it doesn't feel like it's just breadcrumbs. It feels like the characters are on a journey.
Yeah, and I totally forgot that at the beginning of the trailer, that's what he's doing. He's auditioning to get into the Justice Gang.
Yeah. So I'm really curious how Rick Flag plays there. And will Rick Flag have something to do with him not getting in? Because he's, you know what I mean? Like, he's government. So will Rick Flag hating him because he killed his son have anything to do with it?
I mean, I don't know, but maybe Peacemaker is there to try to replace Mr. Terrific's role.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because
maybe he does get in.
Maybe he does. Maybe I don't know.
And then that grows the Justice League. Like, maybe Peacemaker being such a buffoon messes up the Justice Gang's name. Because we haven't seen a lot of footage, which has been nice.
Yeah, well, it looks like, because Maxwell Lord's in the room in that trailer, so I feel like they're trying to. I mean, Metamorphosis.
It definitely is an audition.
Yeah,
but like, is that an audition that goes well, and then we've got like a setup for the Justice League through Peacemaker, or does it go badly because Rick Flag? You know what I mean?
I remember the trailer saying how. I remember the trailer all just shit talking.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's like a welcome, but I don't know.
I don't know.
But Rick Flag is intriguing.
Well. Supergirl Woman tomorrow, Authority it's setting up, Batman teasing, and
all the industries and the world building, and just the sense that it's lived in, I think, is my favorite bit. Like the fact that all these industries don't feel like comic book like name drops, they feel like it's going to do something.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you see it's the difference between Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2.
And I do think that Brainiac could be a good villain for a follow-up because of all the technological shit that happens in here. So I do think there's an element that is setting up. You could have a Brainiac.
Him yelling about humanity.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole movie about, like, I'm human, and then Brainiac's like, I'm the opposite. Like, it is right there.
Yeah.